Hey,
Okay.
welcome to BizChicks TV, Tech Life Weekly, and we are having
This
fun.
is the
Hey,
place
pushing
where you can
buttons. And
find tips and tools
It's
to help you
Friday.
do business
yes, it
better.
is Friday,
We're,
and we're doing tech.
we're
Terry, we don't have to do all that. We're just
okay,
going right.
fine.
But let's just go into it.
Yeah, so I just did tech
Hi, y'all.
history. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all one piece of tech history. The Bell telephone offers the first electronic push button telephone in 1963 to customers in Carnegie and
Mhm.
Greensboro, Pennsylvania. It was dual tone multi frequency DTFM, also known as touch tone, was also introduced on the same day in order to accommodate the new push button telephones. So instead of doing this, you got to do this.
And we had one, a little prince, what we call the princess phone. Because Greensboro is right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And so, yeah, we had that technology early. And, when you're in high school, you think everything is the bomb, right? You got the latest technology. So I can remember that little touch tone phone. It was really cool. And it sat in the hallway. And everybody could hear your conversation. So, like where they tell
Yes.
you, put your kids' computers, like, yeah, right. Okay.
Well,
um,
that's your week in tech history.
okay.
Oh, I
Well,
mean, because that was
yes, because we, go ahead. What were we going to say, Fred?
no. I'm just saying you're up.
This is really funny because it is Tech Friday, and we are now live. So we just want to say that technology works, but there's such a thing as human error, and we do
Yeah,
that from time to
it
time.
happens.
Yes, I've done it several times. Okay.
It
Here's the
happens.
deal. I have one story I want to share so we can get to TJ all the way from New York City, our digital marketing strategist. I want to share this with you because I know this always sets y'all off. Okay. So let me share this screen. Oh my goodness. I hope you're ready. Okay. Lab grown chicken safe to eat, says US regulators. And it doesn't look bad, does it? Can you guys see that?
It
Let me
don't
see.
look
Yeah.
like chicken.
No,
No, that's not chicken.
it is
Mm-mm.
chicken.
No, it's not.
No.
Not chicken.
Y'all know you're not right. That's chicken all day long.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's see
Okay.
what they gotta say. That ain't chicken.
Okay. It says the U.S. Safety Agency, the Food and Drug Administration, has given approval for cell cultured chicken after doing a quote unquote careful evaluation. It has been made in steel tanks by the firm Upside Foods using cell harvested from live animals. It will be able to be, now hold your horses now. It will be able to be sold after an inspection by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, do you
These
trust
people
them?
can't. No, they don't take care of the stuff they got now.
Well, the problem with this is that you have to remember that there were certain people who wanted to shrink the size of government. How many inspectors do they have? And how knowledgeable are they? And how many of them have left the whole um, government scene? Uh, this is going to be interesting. At any rate, it says they'll be able to be sold once they're inspected by the Department of Agriculture, and the FDA, or the Federal Department of Agriculture, said it used data and information. Check this out, provided by the company to reach its
Like
decision and
there.
had no further questions at this time. So they took the company's word for it that this is all good, and they don't have any questions. Well, if you don't know about the technology, how can you ask intelligent questions? The firm's founder and chief executive said, "We started Upside amid a world full of skeptics, and today we have made history again as the first company to receive a no questions letter from the FDA for cultivated meat. All righty.
Okay, how much did
Cultivated
you
meat.
pay them? How much
I
did
don't-
the FDA get paid?
I want you to see. Here's what it looks like. Here's the little um, what do you want to call it?
I don't care. And look, they
Advertisement. So
Photoshop.
for your
Listen,
looking at,
Photoshop still works.
he says, now the founder of the company says, I've been looking forward to this day. They got their no questions letter and they're cool. And so if you want to know more, you can look under hashtag cultivated meat over on Twitter.
Cultivated meat.
Cultivated.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
laughing at the cultivated meat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's a lot going on. You got bacon and labs, so we're not going to talk about that. I just wanted you to know that your chicken is on its way, and that this could
Listen,
be a game changer for world hunger.
it could be a game changer for world hunger, but we're having to trust the people who are making it, that they're not doing it for solely profitable gain. And
What,
it ran too quickly through the FDA. The vaccines didn't even go through that fast. So
no. Well, we
we
don't
got
know how many years they've
there's
been working on this.
questionable.
I don't know how long they've been
Oh
working
no, what I'm
on this.
saying is they they were able to get this with no pushback from the FDA.
And
Okay.
I think it's because
Or
we did the plant-based Impossible Burgers, which are now
okay,
being
but
offered
that's
even at
okay.
Burger King
Listen, that's plant based,
versus
where you
cell.
can go get grass and mix it up. Okay, plants. We're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about taking the genes of a human, not a human, organic animal. We're talking because plants are one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're taking animal, we Frankenstein and some chicken.
Frankenstein
There's a
chicken.
problem. Well, and I'm sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like they were trying to grow the beef in
Mm-hmm.
from barley and
Right.
No, they
putting.
weren't trying. They did. We saw that. That was a
Okay,
done
but
thing.
I still got an issue. Does it taste like chicken? It's for
No,
some people.
my
This is
issue,
going to be
here's my
okay.
issue. I wanted to say on the packaging, real chicken, cultivated chicken, but so I can know which one to choose. You understand what I'm saying?
And I'm sure they would
Mm-hmm.
have to do that. Do you know, like non-GMO and regular?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that
Well,
we have to specify.
it's a shame that we have to learn a
Specify.
new language to go grocery shopping. And
Yeah,
and
cultivated meat.
yeah, I mean, what will that symbol look like? And will we all know it when it comes? So
Mm,
here's my thing. I know a lot of people don't like government, but I want more FDA inspectors. I'm willing to pay more taxes for that.
right, but the people that they're
And all
getting,
this new food that's coming out. I
but the
want
people that are
scientists
doing
hired.
these,
I want the government to hire some scientists.
I totally agree. But right now, they just green lighted them without, and then they told us they got green lighted with no challenges. I got a problem with that. Seriously, got a problem with that.
You and me both. So I thought this would be an interesting article to bring to the table today to let you know to
It
be on the
sure looks.
lookout for this cultivated chicken that has passed FDA approval.
Cultivated chicken.
Cultivated. And see, when I hear cultivated, oh, maybe free range, da da da. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking craziness.
I just want you all to know that even though we were detained in our start, we are live on Facebook, where before that nine, it wouldn't have gone. Okay, so somebody fixed something, just so you know.
Mm.
Okay. just really
Go.
interesting. I'm not doing that. I'm having a
I have
even
to keep.
though
Go ahead. Even
I
though
was
what?
gonna say now the Impossible burgers and the Beyond Beef and all of that, those are all plant based, right?
Hmm.
And even with those, I have to remind myself just because it's plant based does not mean that it's a vegetable. I need to eat some like real vegetables, like broccoli and spinach and other things, because that is just something to where you're not going to be hungry, but is it going to give you the nutritional value that
It's a
you need?
nutrition. Mm.
I may not be hungry, but okay. And the same thing, this is like eating space food. Okay, if I'm out in space, yep, okay, I guess I need y'all to make some of that and send it up.
And I guess by the year 2050, we will look like crazy people because it'll be like, why didn't they trust it? Da da da. We've been eating it for years. Da da da. But grandma wants to go out in the backyard and ring a chicken and da da, pluck a chicken. And that's the way they're gonna be talking about us because we're like,
Because it's real food. Real, like, okay.
well, I can remember my grandmother talking about um, when they were doing hybrid trees, when they were cross pollinating
Cross
things, and
pollinating the trees.
yeah, and you get a orange and a peach on the same tree. She combined tangelos, I think, and different things, were coming out. And she's like, I don't think so.
Because the nutritional value decreases when you start messing with stuff. And so, anyway, um, I I'm gonna go. Okay, Mark says, I suspect many shady restaurants serve cultivated chicken and sometimes cultivated kitty.
Oh my gosh,
Cultivated.
that's another thing. When you go to a restaurant, will you
How
be
will you?
getting real food, real meat?
And,
Mm,
don't they have? Isn't that what is it? Truth and not truth and advertising, but they can't just give you say it's chicken on the menu and then give you this cultivated meat. That's bait and switch or
Is it
deceptive
really?
practicing or
No, it's chicken.
no, no.
It's
Chicken is
it's
chicken.
chicken.
Didn't
no,
the
no,
milk?
Oh, they
no,
gonna
no,
Didn't the
sell
milk?
it.
no.
The milk industry just went through something like this because there's almond milk, soy milk,
Mhm.
that and that, and I think there was something about they wanted cow's milk to be milk and all the other alternatives to be called something else. I believe that they
Yes,
went through that.
like change the name. They don't want it to say milk. I'm like, whatever, dude. Milk is just meaning the juice from something. It's not.
No, they
It,
wanted it to be milk. They wanted milk to be from cow's milk. Cow's milk that you go to the store, there's milk, and they wanted that to be milk, and everything else had to be called a milk alternative or something. I'm trying to remember what it was.
yeah, okay. And that's the people who have.
How fine is
Yeah,
that print?
But see, the thing is, the dairy industry and those guys, if they got a super PAC or whatever, they can go to the government and say, "We want you to
yep.
introduce this bill that says la 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 la," and they go, "Okay," if they're getting money from the dairy industry.
And they are.
Well, well,
Yeah,
my
so I
Okay.
question
remember
is,
this. Go ahead.
my
How
question is,
about
what
this?
happens?
Because
Go ahead, Fran.
um
Okay, my
because
question is, what happens when the milk is so cheap from the alternative, or the meat is so cheap from the alternative, it starts showing up in school lunches, campus menus. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the government always buys it from the cheapest vendor. We're
okay.
already
So
paying
and these
people to dump cow's milk.
right, and it's in the yeah. Anyway, I'm not eating it. Mark says it will soon morph from KFC to KCC,
KCC cultivated meat.
Kentucky cultivated chicken, instead of KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And how would you even? do that because there's no bone, there's no, you can't pick up a bone or wing.
Can't make up. Well, now if you now Wingstop has they call them boneless wings, and it's just I
The
think it's
chicken
thigh meat or
breast.
whatever that they
Yeah, you
form.
can
Yeah,
ask for
it's
boneless
the chicken
chicken. Yeah.
Because
chicken thighs
they
and
don't take
chicken
a
breast.
wing. They don't take a wing and take the bones out. They just it's just thigh meat that they shape to look like, and it
Ah.
doesn't even look like a wing. It just looks like pieces of chicken. I'm like, this is thigh meat.
Right.
Mm. So that's how they get it.
It's
Thank you,
chicken. It's
TJ.
real chicken, but it's not true boneless because they don't go to the wing and take out the bones, and it wouldn't. No, they just take the thigh meat and make the boneless wing.
Mm.
I
Mm.
see a reprieve for the chickens in this because the chicken, look, there has been chicken,
Reprieve.
chicken that, right? So the chickens now, they won't be okay, because I always thought, if we're taking all of the wings, where's the rest of the chicken going? Okay, there's
Mhm.
legs and wings and breast and whatever, and the chicken is just kind of divided up
Well, they're
into.
going. Yeah, it's going into frozen food or canned or other products. They're not wasting it.
Right.
No,
No,
and they sell
but
packs of thighs and they sell packs of breasts and
But see,
things.
the thing is, with restaurants, they want wings sell
Hmm.
versus pieces of chicken.
they will sell the wings
Hmm.
and
Wings are very popular.
right. And so the wing, where that used to be the very least part of the chicken, now is the
Now
most
it's the most
expensive thing.
desirable. Hot wings, stuff like that.
Well, Mark says it's like those freakishly large turkey legs at the fair. No turkey has legs that big.
Who wants to eat that? Wow.
The people at the Renaissance fair, when they walking around with a leg of turkey or something, I'm like, ooh,
And
Wow.
it,
people eat interesting things at the fair. Fried butter, all kind of wonderfulness. So that's my story for today. Uh, and I hope that you guys are aware that sooner or later, cultured chicken will be coming to a grocery store
Cultured
near you.
meat, cultured chicken.
Cultured chicken. And look, I would look at all my packaging because there was an article below that talking about bacon. So I'm just like, I'm
Hmm.
just saying, I'll let you know about that next time.
Okay.
wow.
So let's
I'm gonna
chew on.
put TJ in.
All
Stop
right.
it.
Well, segue from cultured chicken. Go to cultured social media news.
Uh-huh.
All right. So this
Woo.
week in social media news, we got a lot. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot
Yes,
because
that's why
this
we're
is a
giving you
week.
more time.
It's the week before a holiday, and all of these, they're all businesses, so they like to, if they're taking that week off, they dump all of their new stuff in their news the week before. So Thanksgiving next week, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. So we're gonna always start with the ones that we rarely talk about, and we're gonna start with OnlyFans. Ooh, OnlyFans. OnlyFans is
Only
launching
thing.
OnlyFans, the adult what are we calling it? The adult entertainment platform. I'll call it
Mm-hmm.
that. Uh, so OnlyFans is launching online stores so their content creators can start selling branded products like clothing and stickers. So merch is coming to OnlyFans.
Really?
Yeah. Hmm. Merch. Yeah.
Stickers? That's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. 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 It's serious business. So they have a partnership with Spring, which is a merch company that was known as Teespring. They were acquired by Amaze. So now they're instead of Teespring, they are now called Spring because they do
Yeah, I
more than
remember
t-shirts.
Teespring. A lot of people were using Teespring.
Right. The platform it still works the same. It's just instead of calling themselves Teespring because they do more than t-shirts, so they calling themselves Spring. So uh, OnlyFans creators can sell physical products to their supporters directly from their platform pages. So
Hmm.
they're going to give the users ability to add a link to online stores to offer merchandise through the partnership with Spring. Creators can design and create custom branded products such as water bottles, stickers, puzzles, and apparel. Spring will handle the packaging, storage, and shipping of products. So that's how Teespring and all of these other, it's called POD, print on demand. That's how they work. You upload your design and they do the rest. So that's what they're doing. So the OnlyFans chief executive said our creator community was looking for merchandise options to be able to share another side of their business with fans, which means, cha-ching, another option to make money. So so again, the CEO says, as a creator first organization, there are over 3 million creators on OnlyFans, meaning over 3 million small businesses now have access to a new monetization tool. I love how he calls his platform their small business owners.
And they are. We're paying taxes, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I just love how they, instead of focusing on their platform content, they're like, oh, they're small business owners. Okay. OnlyFans isn't taking a cut from the transaction for now, because they always do that.
Right.
They always give it to you for free, and then a year or two later, it's like, okay, you enjoy that, then you'll have to pay us a percentage. So they're saying that so last year the company generated which is OnlyFans, 433 million in profit, and is on track to earn 2.5 billion in revenue. This is OnlyFans.
Yep.
So
okay,
creators,
let me stop you right there. It's just like you've been telling us. If you do the work, put in the work, and connect with your people.
It doesn't matter what platform. It doesn't matter
matter
what you're selling. It's about attention, messaging, connection, driving them to the thing that you have to offer. And it could be anything. So
and they are doing it. They're working it.
They're doing it. So, OnlyFans people are going to be merching it up. All right. So one more thing from them. Creators can choose their own price points for their merch. You can also select what kinds of items they want to sell from 120 products. So like we mentioned, t-shirts, mugs, pillowcase, iPhone cases, puzzles, all whatever. The sky's the limit. So good luck to OnlyFans business owners. On the Spotify, let's talk about Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify has released some new video podcast publishing tools. So they expanded the video podcasting capabilities to creators in more than 180 markets worldwide. So and remember Spotify's podcasting platform to let creators make podcasts was Anchor. Remember Anchor was the one button easy to make a podcast. So Spotify bought them, so you're using that Anchor software. So they're saying that this officially launched in April to a handful of key markets, and it's rolling out to more countries this summer, including parts of Europe. So this move with Spotify puts them in competition with YouTube. So YouTube has always had the video podcasting capability. They're calling it now. You do your podcast over on YouTube, and you do the video part of it. But now Spotify is doing that. So they're saying Spotify has an audience of 456 million monthly listeners. So listeners can take advantage of features like the ability to switch between watching a video and playing the video in the background. Okay, so back, and remember we said, speaking of that, the background play was a feature that YouTube put into the premium subscription, but we were saying that if you have iOS, that it's already built into that, so you don't have to buy the YouTube premium unless you want to. So they're saying that on Spotify, this is available to all users, including non-subscribers, for free. So they're going after, Spotify's going after YouTube. And I don't think, this is a good tool. It's a good addition, but I don't think they're going to take on YouTube. YouTube is like way ahead. All right. So one more called Yubo, YUBO. I meant to look this app up, but I forgot, but but what the story is saying, it's a social live streaming app popular with a Gen Z audience. So they're expanding their audio moderation technology to the UK, Australia, and Canada. It's a Paris-based company, and they launched in the US earlier this year in partnership with Hive. Oh, okay. Now Hive, I just discovered this week because of the whole Twitter debacle stuff. So we're gonna talk about Twitter. That's gonna be the last thing. But Hive is an app you can download, and I just started. Hold on, real quick, because I was trying to get into it, but because it's in beta, they're having sign up issues. Like everybody's running to different places because of Twitter. So Hive was one of them. And I want to look real quick and see if I can get it to come up. Yeah, it's still not. So I haven't been able to look at Hive, but it's supposed to have like the trending topics for you and new, and then you're supposed to be able to make posts. And see, this is nothing is coming up for me. So they say they're in beta. So Hive is one of those apps that we're investigating. Where
So,
everybody's leaving from Twitter. So this Yubo is in partnership with Hive. So Yubo says although the technology is still in its infancy, it's been proven to be effective at detecting potential real world risks such as violence to others or self harm. So this audio moderation technology record and automatically transcribes 10-second snippets of audio in a live stream of 10 or more people. The text is then automatically scanned using AI to detect problematic content such as nudity or drug use. Yubo sends alert pop-ups to tell users that they're doing something inappropriate while the live streaming is happening. So Yubo, I said YouTube. Yubo says only text that contains words or phrases that violates the app policies are flagged for review by Yubo. The incidents are then investigated in real time to determine what action should be taken. Transcripts of no suspected violations are not reviewed and automatically deleted after 24 hours. So ones that do require investigation, they will forward to law enforcement, and those are stored for a year. So this Yubo is a new app, and it's partnership with Hive. All of these apps are starting, they're new. This one is saying that because they do live streaming, that they're going to record snippets, and that's how they look and see if any policy violations are taking place, any kind of things against the terms of service. So that's Yubo. I haven't had a chance to look at it, and I will, but I do have the Hive, and the Hive is having little growth problems because they're small. So and Hive, I saw on Twitter today, they put a tweet saying, "Oh, bear with us because we weren't expect. I think they got like $60,000, 60,000 signups overnight because something happened yesterday with Twitter, which we're going to get to. So there was a lot of people up late last night upset about Twitter. So we're going to get into that.
can
Um,
I can I ask
yeah,
a
go ahead. Let's
question?
go. Mhm.
Have you heard of fan base?
Mhm. I have it.
Okay.
Fanbase Fanbase is an app that it's by Isaac Haynes the third, which is it third or junior? Well, his father's
Third.
Isaac
I think
Haynes, the
it's the
famous
third.
it's the third. His father's
Yeah.
a famous recording artist from the 60s, the 70s. So he started Fanbase it's been over a year, and
Right.
he started up with VC money. With he raises money, he doesn't run any ads. Fan base is a mix of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those. It does all of the things, TikTok, all of it together.
Right.
um so it is growing. That's one of the places where people are going, but I'm seeing it to be niche as far as like Black Twitter kind of likes it. So I don't see any other groups going over to fan base. And then I've used it a couple of times. I haven't seen a lot of conversations
Activity.
business wise. Yeah, it's not,
Right.
there's no business conversations going on, and that's what I always look for. But it is a mix of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok all together.
I saw that. Yeah, because I set up my account over there, and I'm like, huh, okay, we'll
Hmm.
see how this plays out.
It's a
I
lot of like party promotion kind of style of images and things going over about partying and parties, and I'm like, I'm not seeing real
and
business conversation.
yeah, and I was talking to Terry about this the other day. We have to realize Mark Zuckerberg is like what, 38?
Mhm. Mhm.
The 12-year-olds are running some of these companies, and then we want to know why they are not um,
Mhm.
acting mature or whatever, because they
Right.
are
It's
not.
not a neighborhood I wanna. It's I download it because I download everything and look at it. But
Right,
it's not a thing. I don't see myself hanging out there, even though I like the format of it. It's a very nice UX user experience.
Mhm.
right,
I just have not found conversations that I want to be a part of. I'll just put it like that.
right. And I was like, because it checks all the boxes. If you ever wanted to
Mhm.
do it all in one place, that's
Yes,
the place.
I love it. It's great. It's just I don't see the people that I want to see. I don't see any tech people. I don't see any. I follow one journalist, but he's a black journalist that has his own network. Roland Martin. He's over there. He's
Mhm.
invested in it. Um, Again, we've talked about this before. If an app is not running ads or subscriptions, the longevity it's not going to be there. And
Correct. Because
raising money is great, but when a recession comes, inflation and people talking venture capitalist money, everybody's purse is going to be real tight. And
yeah.
what I'll say is that because I was watching the Twitter last night and everybody was saying this, that, and the other, and I'm like, you guys don't understand the cost of running a social media app. The server, you got to pay for the servers, you got to pay for the developers. That's a lot of daily operation cost. I think Twitter is like, what is it, 4 million a day or 4 million an hour or something like that. So if they're not getting money, it's what's that movie with the people bought the house and they threw the money pit. It'll be a money pit
Mhm.
if
Because
you're
you're going
not
to keep
getting money
losing
from
money.
advertisers. And this is where Elon is now. He's not getting money from advertisers. That's why he promoted this Twitter Blue for $8, wanting it to go up to 16. I heard $50 a month because he needs money to run this thing. And then all of the people are gone. So we're gonna talk about that. But that's some of the things I see the conversations online. I'm like, you guys, Twitter's a business. It has to operate on business practices, not because they can't get rid of Twitter. It's too big to fail. I'm like, what are you talking about? There are lots of corporations. Enron, anybody heard of that?
So, yeah.
Lehman Brothers, anybody heard of that?
Mhm.
Those things don't exist anymore. So there's a lot of confusion. I'll say that, a lot of confusion. So fan base is great. I like the user part of it. It's just that getting people over there
Mhm.
and not having one kind of culture, because you can be a niche
Yes,
product.
that part.
You can be a niche product, but where your money coming from, boo? And we know from experience with all these live stream apps that always come up and we join them and they say, "Don't worry, we have funding." What happened to them? Every single one.
We're on the, yeah, they're all
They're
gone.
gone. They're gone. Cause
Even though some of the
okay.
ones who had, even some of the ones who charged
Mhm.
you money, I'm thinking Ecamm, they
Right.
charged us like a lifetime, and you paid one time, but I
Right.
What's
think
that?
that one-time fee ran out.
Right. Right. So
And
then
I
I
don't know where
remember
they are.
the Blab guys was like the guy, I forgot what his name was. He kept coming on and saying, "Oh, we got plenty of money. We got funders that they, deep pocket." I was like, the purse only goes so far. The pocketbook goes only go far. If I'm throwing money into the money pit, where's my return on investment? You guys
Mhm.
watch Shark Tank, right? What they always go by, how am I gonna get my money back? That's one thing they ask everybody that shows up at Shark Tank. They don't care about the product. How am I
Where,
gonna get my money back?
right, where's the return?
Where's my
Mm.
where am I gonna get my money back? When I'm gonna get my money back? So we're in this volatile area. So we're gonna talk about Twitter some more. But fan base, I like it. It's just it's the conversations that I want aren't there. So
Mark has a question. He says,
yes.
"Does anyone use Tribal?" And I think I tested Tribal,
We did.
and it was the Wild West a little bit too.
Okay, one thing I saw about tribal, and I can't guarantee this 100%, but there was a conversation about the privacy and the terms of service when you sign up for tribal, what they own.
That
And
part.
I gotta find that. I screenshotted it from Twitter, and I was like, the things that they say they can do with my content, I didn't like, so I didn't sign up
Mm.
with them.
Right. I remember seeing that because,
I gotta
yeah,
find it, but don't
I
just
think
go
it was a
sign up for anything, guys, because they can, read the terms of service and see what they can do with what you're doing
Mm.
right.
with your data and your content.
They did not seem like an attorney wrote it. It was like all of these things. I was like, who wrote this?
Anybody, I can write terms of service. I can write it. Anybody can write it, but just be
And
careful.
Mark has a
Mark
further
try to.
comment. He said, I saw that about Tribal too, which
Mhm.
is why I didn't download it. I didn't dig deep to find out if it was true.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, data mining and selling data is big businesses. It's big business, it's big money because of advertising and buying data and finding out the neighborhood they want to be in. So there are a lot of companies that are selling it. Even they were saying somebody from Twitter that was not an employee anymore and said, I don't have an NDA and I'm going to tell you guys that they were looking at selling y'all's data.
Mm.
And you think, and let's talk about it real quick, because you think, what's the big deal? It is a big deal. It's a big deal. You want this? It's they have information about you that's being passed from person to person to person to person. So you get contacted about something, and you're like, I didn't sign up for that. Well, the data was sold. So that's just the small amount of it. The larger part of it, when you start to talk about data that the medical field is having trouble with, people
Mm.
getting your health information.
Yeah.
That's data. Your social security number, your bank account, your all of that stuff that you think is protected by one company and you trust them where they can, backdoor sell it or sell pieces of it or whatever. Do you want that? Is my question. No.
Yeah,
So
because I was watching one of the shows on Apple TV,
mhm.
a
Mhm.
Mystic Quest or something. I was like, oh, let me see what this show's about. And apparently, in this episode, somebody hacked into their system, and they didn't steal anything, but the people's data was compromised, and
Right.
the guy who's in charge of everything said, okay, we need to let the customers know. And the other guy said, well, we that people all know that their stuff gets hacked all the time. And he said, well,
Right.
name some people. He started naming off companies: Yahoo, Facebook, da 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 da
Yeah,
da,
they
with
all
all
do.
the
Yeah.
data breaches.
Mhm. Yeah, and
And I was
Mark's comment about it, it's TikTok. We talk about TikTok, but the TikTok problem is because it's China based. It's a foreign entity that's not our friend, but they like to spy at us. That's the deal. So that's why there's the issues with TikTok. But all of them do. Facebook, when you sign up for an account with Facebook, they ask you a bunch of questions, name, this and that, but they also ask you demographic stuff. What's your favorite book? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite restaurant? Where do you like to do this? Do you like travel? Do you like fishing? Do you like knitting? This, all of that data they gather and they use it to when advertisers come to run ads. Oh, you want the woman that's 55 that likes knitting and she lives this and she watches this show and she reads this book. Boom, I can connect you instantly to her because they have the data.
right. And Mark says, if we're on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter especially now, is there any data left for them to get?
See, that's the thing.
Further,
We're on Google, we're on Facebook, we're on, so they've got stuff. It's just
right.
that we kind of not really trust Facebook as much. You trust Facebook a little bit more than you trust TikTok, only because Facebook is an American based company, but you still can't trust them. So this is
No,
the deal. So you go to Facebook and remove all that stuff that you don't want people to know.
right. And this is there really any privacy? I mean, short of our credit card numbers, bank accounts, and Social Security, isn't
Hmm.
everything already out there for most of us?
Right, true. But there are
It,
laws
it-
in the United States that protect certain data that you have. So there's stuff that they cannot not sell or ask for, but that the line is getting murky.
right. And
That's why we got that TikTok conversation.
Chanu in Clubhouse says, I don't answer any of those questions.
See, smart. That's and I noticed it when I went. I think when I looked at Facebook a while back, and then it was like, oh, they ask you, you click your favorite movies, and I was clicking all kinds. I was like, wait a minute. They don't need to know that. So you can go in and you can clean up your data in Facebook. It make it hard to find, but it's there. You can clean all that stuff out.
Right.
It's just that we mindlessly remember. I always give you the example of remember when we went to the mall in the 80s and they had a car there or a vacation. Enter to win. Name,
Mhm.
address, phone number. And then they ask you some more questions, but they would put optional. And if you fill that out, they gave that filled out the profile on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that now everything is easily done because it's electronic and digital and this and that.
Mark says, I never do those history quizzes on Facebook. You will never find out which Disney princess I am.
Yeah, see, that's how they make it fun.
Mhm.
Which Disney princess are you? And then you go through and they say, well, share this with your friends. Let them find out what Disney prince or whatever the quiz is. There's tons of them. All of that is they're fishing for data and you're giving it up easily because it seems like harmless fun.
Mhm.
And what
Wow.
are they getting? My email. But they're getting much more because they're understanding you psychologically, which is gold to marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Psychologically, I get to know
And
what you think and like.
I recognized that yesterday I was going to play one of the word games, words with friends I used to play, right? I said, I want to go
Mhm.
back in there and play that. All of a sudden, they want to know, do you want to connect on this and do you want to connect that? And I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm not. If
The
you want to get rid of the
login with
ads, then you had to
Facebook.
give them
Mhm.
something else. I was like,
Mhm.
never mind. I'll get a crossword puzzle
But
in a
see,
book. I'm
nobody think
sorry.
the average person we're there mindlessly having, killing time, having fun or whatever. And then we don't think about it. Mark says they're getting your potential answers and secure. Yes. So the things they can ask, they can extrapolate with other information that you have. So it's just I never because I see when you go to Facebook there's always somebody posting which Game of Thrones this or that or which this and that which character are you and then your friends it seems like fun
Mhm.
and nobody thinks about it because it's fun and harmless but there's the data connection and then it's like how much do you want to give up so things to think about.
Yes,
That is
things
why you
make you
need to
go.
be here.
That's why I said
That's
we're
why you
getting.
come to Tech Life Weekly because you
Mhm.
need to know what's really going on in the
Right.
world of social media and technology. You really need to know what's happening.
And I've been saying for a long time that there's going to be some kind of entity to help with the because you see the issue that's arising that it's like okay there needs to be something fact checking all of this. There needs to be
Mhm.
some kind of I call it a good housekeeping seal of approval. When you see that it's okay. This
Yeah,
website is okay.
a
This app is
clearinghouse.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know I don't know how it's going to come about might have to be a hybrid of private and government. It can't be all government. It can't be all private because you see what's happening with all private with Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter's all private. Look what's happening.
Mhm. And it has to be voluntary. Like, do you want this seal of approval?
Right.
Come over here and
No,
answer
yeah,
our
it has to be
questions.
voluntary,
Mhm.
but it's going to be put out in a way that alleviates the fear of being online and connecting with an app and sharing information and talking and messaging.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't know how it's going to come about. I just feel like we're getting closer every day. We're getting closer to it, and Elon Musk is helping it with this stuff that he's doing with Twitter. There has to be something where people get outraged and they go, "We're not. We're. What movie was that? Something about we're not going to
Look,
take it anymore."
I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to
Yes,
take
I'm
it.
mad as hell.
Isn't it
They
news
gotta get
something?
mad
News,
first.
yeah, newsy or something. Yeah.
Yes, they got to get mad first. The people have to get mad first. Right now, they're
Yes,
happy because
network.
they're
Yeah.
doing these little quizzes where they find out, like Mark says, he's Ariel, he's a Disney princess Ariel. But see how they're making it. It's not something scary. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
They're going. Oh, come and
Network.
take
It
this
was
quiz.
network. Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Network. That was the movie. Yeah, yeah. It
Mhm.
has to reach a point where critical mass, where the culture says, the society says, we're mad and we're not going to take it anymore. So they can get mad, but you got to take the action step of, okay, fix it. And we're getting there. I feel it. I don't know what the tipping point is, but we're there. And I don't know what the thing is that will happen where, because look, we have the privacy issue with Cambridge Analytica a few years ago with the election. We have the children and minors getting depressed and bullied and harassed. Now
Mm,
we have Twitter going down and your data. It's getting there. It's getting
mhm.
there. That's all I can say. I don't know what it's going to be, but there will be a tipping point. So thank you, Elon. Okay, so let's get back to this. So should I mention this one? I have a note about Evernote, but I'm gonna skip that one. We got so much stuff. Let's go to Snapchat. Snapchat has Snapchat likes to put out filters, so they have a filter for uh FIFA. Is that FIFA World Cup?
Oh,
Um, Right. So they're putting out new features and experiences that let users show support for their teams and keep up with the World Cup. So you can virtually try on jewelry, jerseys, dress up your Bitmoji, watch match highlights, and more. So Snapchat has partnered with Adidas to put clothes on your Bitmoji.
that's cute.
You'll get access to official team stickers and filters to decorate your snaps and support your team. So Snapchat is always getting into the AR, and this is not AI, this is AR, which is augmented reality of how would, my Bitmoji look in my favorite sports team jersey or the stickers or this and that. So it's just something else for people to engage in when they're in Snapchat. All
Mm-hmm.
right. All right. Now WhatsApp. WhatsApp has launched new business search functionality and they also are expanding in-stream payments. So WhatsApp, they had a summit, WhatsApp Business Summit in Brazil this week. Zuckerberg announced a new update that will enable WhatsApp user to search for business by category or name directly in the WhatsApp UI, which is the interface that you see. So users will be able to search for businesses in a dedicated element accessible via the search function in the app. The search function will include a mini map so you can check out nearby businesses along with category filters and verify businesses.
So, is this Yelp? What is this?
WhatsApp.
No, I mean, is this Yelp on WhatsApp?
Oh no, this will be a way for a small business to be discovered.
So it's kind
So
of like the yellow pages.
Mm-hmm. So here's WhatsApp's explanation. We built business search in a way that preserves people's privacy. What you search for is processed in a way that cannot be linked back to your account. We're bringing the ability to search for a business to Brazil, Indonesia, Mexico, and the UK, where people can find companies using our WhatsApp business platform. In Brazil, the search will help people find small businesses as well. So they're doing this over in the UK because they are a bigger user of WhatsApp than over here. So they're saying they're also they're looking at WhatsApp usage is on the rise in the US. Also, they're saying they're expanding WhatsApp payment. Here's the quote. Ultimately, we want people to be able to make a secure payment right from a chat with their credit or debit card. We recently launched this experience in India, and we're excited to now be testing this in Brazil with multiple payment partners. This seamless checkout experience will be a game changer for people and businesses looking to buy and sell on WhatsApp without having to go to a website, open another app, or pay in person. So, this is where WhatsApp is going with this. So, they don't want people to leave. Once you're searching for the business and you see something you want to buy, you don't want to leave WhatsApp and go to their platform or whatever. You can do everything in WhatsApp. So they're looking to keep everything in WhatsApp.
I will not do it until TJ gives me the green light on WhatsApp.
I'm
I
not a
will not.
WhatsApp fan. I mean, I will investigate it some more, but I just kind of, after that, maybe they fixed the because I think WhatsApp has the end-to-end encryption. I had to double check, but
that's what they say on their commercials.
That is end-to-end encrypted, but that's messages. I want to check this payment processing. And check that first. Okay. Let's go to YouTube real quick. YouTube. Oh, okay, we got time. YouTube Shorts now includes 60 seconds of music or sounds, up from 15 seconds before. So YouTube Shorts was the music and sounds added to videos can only be 15 seconds, even though the shorts could be 60 seconds long. So now they had a licensing deal with the length of the music. So now they've revised it. So now your shorts can be available with music up to 60 seconds.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So also creators can remix or sample up to 60 seconds of sounds from other videos instead of only 15 seconds. So the limit was 15, even though the shorts could be 60. And it had to do with the music. Yeah, okay. It's okay. They're saying in some cases the songs will only be 30 seconds due to continuing licensing restrictions. So they have to get in a deal with the music licensing of this. So this update is to make YouTube Shorts more competitive with TikTok and Instagram Reels, because Instagram Reels go up to 90 seconds long, and on TikTok songs can last up to a minute. All right. Also, Google is rolling out new features with map, search, and shopping. So this is a big bite. So let's look at this. So YouTube is also adding shopping features to Shorts. The shopping features allow users to purchase products as they scroll through Shorts. So you'll have that. So viewers in the United States, India, Brazil, Canada, and Australia can see the tags. So there'll be tags in the Shorts, and then you can shop through the short. YouTube says it's planned to continue bringing tagging in more creators and countries in the future. Also, they will have an affiliate program in the United States that allow creators to earn commissions through purchases of recommended products in their shorts and regular videos. So this test is still in the early days. So they're testing that you can affiliate program. So you get commissions if you make a short about a product or a service. So they're testing that. Also, YouTube is expanding their search. So you can use search to find your favorite dish at a restaurant. For example, you can search for truffle mac and cheese near me to see which nearby restaurants carry the dish on your menu. Once you find that dish, you can get information about its price, ingredients, and more. Also, they have yeah. So they also have
that.
Yeah, that's good. So they have they have like, if you go pizza near me, they show you the pizza shop. So now you can do by specific dish. So another new search functionality, you can use Google's multi-search feature to find specific food near you. So if you see something tasty, this is an example. You see something tasty looking online but don't know what it is or where to find it, you can now use a lens in the Google app to snap a picture or take a screenshot of a dish and add the words "near me" to find a place that sells it nearby. So this is a step further where you don't know what. So the first example was, I want mac and cheese near me. But this is, you saw something, you don't know what it is. You use Google Lens And Google Lens will tell you what it is and where to find it near you, where you can order it, book it, get a reservation, whatever.
I like that.
hmm So it's based on that near me. So they're taking a step further. Now, for maps, Google is launching a new visual search experience called Live View, and it's in London, LA, New York, Paris, San Francisco, and Tokyo. Now, here's an example. Say you're visiting New York with plans and you want to catch up with friends. You lift your phone and tap on the camera icon in the search bar to see nearby stores and other places like coffee shops, banks, and ATM. So this is based on AR directions. So you can see what direction they're in and how far away you are. So this is if you're in you're visiting New York and you don't, where do we want the coffee shop, so you can use this in the maps feature. So it's called Live View. So you just tap in and it shows you where you want to go. So it's for unfamiliar places. So they're doing a test. Okay, so in London, LA, New York, Paris, San Francisco, and Tokyo. That's in the maps. Now, shopping. Google's adding some new AR shopping elements. They have a new makeup simulator for foundation. This is the most searched makeup category. So they have an AR shopping feature that it makes it easier to find your foundation match. They have a new photo library featuring 148 models representing a diverse spectrum of skin tones and everything. So it makes it easier to shop of what different products will look like on them. This is for makeup, and they're also doing an AR sneaker shopping experience. You can look at shoes in 360 degrees to get a better idea of the sneaker if you want to buy it. You can start exploring shoes from brands like Saucony, 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 Vans, and Merrell. Merrell starting today. The feature will be compatible with more brands in the future, Google says. So you can AR shop for makeup now and get a better, truer sense of foundation matching, and then AR sneaker shopping experience. Mm.
This is good, and technology has lent to this, better cameras, better lighting, better everything, and now you can try it on. That was the thing when people first started doing online shopping is, well, I can't try it on. Well, now you
Right.
can try
Right.
it.
And the augmented reality gives you a better sense of how it looks on you, or
Mhm.
if you're buying a couch, how the couch looks in your living room. So it's another step to make people buy, right away. Like, okay, it looks good on me, let me get it right away. Instead of wondering what will it look like.
Mhm.
Okay, so all right, yeah, we got a few more. Nothing from Instagram. So Facebook, Meta is removing religious, political, and sexual preference fields from Facebook profiles. So, excuse me, they're sending out notification to users who filled in the following fields. Excuse me, filled in the following fields to let them know that they'll soon be removed. So if you put interested in as dating preferences, if you
Mhm.
put in your religion, if you put in your political views and your address, they're saying they're taking that away. Because again, we was talking about the data, and people was filling in things, not thinking about it. So now Facebook is getting the jump, so we're going to take that out.
Mhm.
So here's the quote from Meta. As part of our efforts to make Facebook easier to use and navigate, we're removing a handful of profile fields. So I just listed them. We're sending notifications to people who have these fields filled out, letting them know that these fields will be removed. This change does not affect anyone's ability to share this information about themselves elsewhere on Facebook. So Facebook doesn't want these kind of things where we fill them out. Say you filled it out 5 years ago. Now Facebook is going, okay, we're going to remove all that stuff because we don't want to be responsible for that kind of information.
Mhm.
Facebook asked for it, kind of like.
Oh, okay.
And so they removing it, but they're saying if you want to share it in a post, that's fine, but it's not going to be on your profile permanently.
Mhm.
Another thing, Facebook is testing a status feature, so it will be an emoji on your profile icon picture.
What kind of status feature? Like
It's gonna be
single?
like sad, happy,
Oh,
I
moods.
had, yeah, mood. I had some of the examples here, but I didn't put it
I,
down.
I remember them talking about that.
Right. So it'll be your profile picture, and then it'll be a little, you can add your mood. So I think you can add it when you're doing a post, but it's gonna be on your profile picture also. If you want.
Okay.
You don't have to add it. And one more from Facebook. Facebook has added new groups option, which enables members to make themselves moderators. Now, this one was people were like, "This is stupid." So, if you turn on, if you're the admin of a Facebook group and you see a notification saying, "Try a new way of managing your group," don't turn it on because it allows anybody to make themselves a moderator, which you don't want in your Facebook group because they'll be able to do stuff
Mm.
in your group. So people were saying, well, why would Facebook put this together? So if you turn it on, it says every member will be able to make themselves a moderator. Why would we do that, Facebook? Allow a member to make themselves a moderator. They didn't think that one through. So that's one of the things that they're hoping Facebook takes away. All right,
For
so
real.
yeah. All right, so TikTok has TikTok announced its 2022 Discover list of top creators and innovators in the app. So that every year they do a Discover list. It's 50 platform creators that are building communities on the platform, advancing creativity, driving positive impact on TikTok. So they want to shine a light and highlight these people that are talking about important topics, educating, inspiring, empowering people to learn something new. And on the other side of TikTok, the FBI calls for a full ban of the app this week. The FBI has asked for a full
Hold on,
ban of
say
TikTok.
that again.
The FBI.
Mm-hmm.
The FBI. This
The
this wasn't no
FBI.
wow.
Okay. So remember, because we've been talking about TikTok and the security issue, and that it's not going to be a ban from the president or Congress. It's going to be one of the committees or the Commerce Department, whoever, somebody like that. So I figured out who it was. It's the U.S. Committee on Foreign Investments.
Okay.
That committee can recommend that Google and Apple take that app out of this store, out of the app store. So now the FBI has chimed in. The FBI director has saying he has said in his assessment, the app indeed pose a national security threat.
Uh-oh.
So the yeah. So
But
then you so
but
wait.
it's,
Let's
go ahead.
the U.S. Committee on Foreign Investments, they've been investigating TikTok for years.
Mhm.
Remember that back in June, the FCC commissioner put out a letter calling for the ban. In September, Senator Josh Hawley, he urged this committee to force TikTok to sever all ties with ByteDance. So those are the two things that was going on. Last week, I said that TikTok let their users know in Europe that yes, we can spy on you or we can get data on you, and if you agree to use this app, you're agreeing to that. So that happened last week in Europe. Um, so here's a statement. So according to FBI director, the risk include the possibility that the Chinese government could use TikTok to control data collection on millions of users or control the recommendation algorithm, which could be used for influence operations, propaganda and all that other stuff. So
Mm.
they're saying
Mhm.
that China could use the app to control software on millions of devices, giving it the opportunity to technically compromise those devices. So that's where we are right now from the FBI. That was their statement
Okay.
this week.
But
That
it
was
is so
Okay.
ingrained in our culture.
Well, here's the thing, but if they're ingrained on your phone and they get their little tentacles into other parts of your phone, not just their stuff, now there's you know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
They're
So now
intruding in
remember, we just talked about not Face, WhatsApp. So
right.
a few years ago, it was an Israeli hacking something that they hacked into WhatsApp, and it came out that they could hack your device even if you didn't open WhatsApp. Just the
Correct.
mere fact of having it installed on your device was the ability for them to hack your device. Now that was why I got rid of it, because I had it installed, but I wasn't using it. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, an app that can open my phone up and I'm not using it, delete. I got rid
Mhm.
of it. So now here we are now where these things are happening um with TikTok and data and where you want to be and what you want to use it for.
And this is the FBI saying this is not a
Hmm.
A
committee of
fly
the
by
who don't
night
know.
situation. Mhm.
Yeah, the FBI is like, mm-mm. So Mark has a couple of comments here. Mark said, can you imagine TikTok is banned, Twitter crashes and burns? It's Zuckerberg's dream. Come on, social media innovators, give us the next best thing. And then he further has a question. He said, can't Apple do something to protect us, those of us that are iPhone users? And I think we do have
Hmm.
some things in place
Right.
because of the Ask app not to track and stuff.
Right.
But even if we decided, oh, I forgot to do something, I don't
Hmm.
want somebody all up in my phone.
Right.
And
Right.
that was
We
the
don't
thing.
want these apps in our business on our phone. So WhatsApp was doing that. Not like again, I have to double check. It has nothing to do with end-to-end encryption. It was just the fact that it was installed. It was installed, not opened. And a lot of people
Right,
install apps and forget.
right. And that was the thing. And who's lurking around in there? The developers are no longer using it. That don't mean that they're not spying on our stuff.
Right. So, and the difference between TikTok and Twitter is that TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a company based in China. That's the key there. It's not about so there's gonna be talk of, well, who bans it and why. They're gonna look at national security issues. The FBI is involved. The Committee on Foreign Investments. All of these people are looking at it, and also with Twitter, they're looking at Elon. There's a committee looking at Elon Musk and his deal because he has uh, Saudi investors and China investors when he bought Twitter. So they're looking at that also. These things take time, and like I said earlier, you got to get mad. You, the people, because it's we the people. You got to get mad and call your congressman, your congressperson, your representative. You got to make a big noise and a big stink, and then you got to take action. Otherwise, they're just going to because nobody's making a stink.
And so my question becomes with this news of the day. I'm just going to put a poll out there. How many are you all thinking about? I need to let TikTok go.
Well, see, that's the thing. If you're not using it, I would suggest deleting it. If you're not using it,
Because they
and then
are spying. They already told the UK that they okay, we telling you straight up, we're spying on you. They're probably spying on us too. They just not telling us. They try to.
yeah, they're not telling us. And they're saying there's investigations going on. There's talks between TikTok and another government committee, I forgot the name of it, about this whole the data, where the data is stored, what they can access. TikTok says they can't. But then there was stories coming out and we talked about it where they were using some kind of face recognition data or something to track certain people, and they said no, they weren't doing it. And then they discovered some conversation with some of the Chinese engineers, and one guy was saying they have a master key and they could go and do whatever they want from that side of the world. So, and then they go, oh no, 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 that wasn't true. So, who do you believe?
So Shanu says, I use it on a burner phone, so I'm not worried.
There you
Wow.
go. Smart,
And then
smart.
Mark says, I'm not worried yet. I'm not getting any attention elsewhere. So at least the hackers are taking an interest.
It's getting closer and closer to what is the government going to do? They're aware of it. So if it's something you're concerned about, like I said, talk to your representatives. It's easy to do. They all have there's a link on I think something.gov where you can send a message to your representatives in Congress. So you can go to
Wow.
that. I forgot where it is.
I wonder if social media will go the way of the telephone, from party line to private lines, which is what you said 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
I said that a while back that it was
Mhm.
going to be private conversations, and these are the things. What's going on with
Mhm.
Twitter, what's going on. These are the things that drive people to, I want to protect myself. So we're going to have a private conversation somewhere. But where? But where? Now that brings us to Twitter. So let me bring up Twitter. This is the last thing we're going to talk about. So what happened yesterday? So Elon Musk gave employees a Thursday deadline to decide whether to leave or stay to build Twitter 2.0. So it was Thursday at 5 p.m. So they were supposed to decide by 5 p.m. Most people took the severance and said, I'm out. That was by 5. So they're saying by the deadline 5 p.m. Eastern time, hundreds of Twitter employees. This is on the New York Times. By the deadline 5 p.m. Eastern time, hundreds of Twitter employees appear to have decided to depart with the 3 months of severance pay. Also, Twitter announced later that they are closed. The office buildings are closed, and they disabled employee badge access until Monday. So people quit on yesterday by 5. Twitter offices are closed. No employee badge access until Monday. He's also laid off half of Twitter's 7,500 full-time workers. And this is where we are. So there's nobody driving the car. Because Musk doesn't know how to drive the car. The offices are closed. Employees aren't allowed to go into the building. A bunch of them quit on yesterday by 5. Because he laid out an ultimatum.
These are IT people. Do they need a key to the building?
Well, if they read, well, he doesn't have a PR. He doesn't have a PR team. He all fired them. So he's fired a lot of essential people already. Half of
Yep.
the 7,500. Yesterday, a bunch of them resigned. They're like, I'm
Mhm.
out. I don't want to deal with this. So there's nobody really driving the car because they're saying that there's a certain amount of people you need to check on Twitter the bells and whistles. So right now it's a car that's driving itself. Nobody's at the wheel, but it's still running. So because of that, there was a lot of Twitter spaces, a lot of people talking about Twitter's going
After the
down
management.
last night. It's still up
Mhm.
for now, but who knows what happens when there's a car that has a brick on the gas pedal, but nobody's driving it. What happens? It runs out of gas. It hits something. It crashes. This is where we are now.
Bless him.
So Shanu over here in class says she has 2 comments. She says um, she does not use to your previous story. She does not use
Mhm.
Messenger or WhatsApp. And then she says Twitter is done. I'm just waiting for it to crash and burn. And
Right.
she says I get paid for the stock I had. I got paid for the stock I had, so I don't really care about them at this point.
Right.
I gotta go see if I got a check. And Mark
So
has a
this is
comment.
where we are. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
The insiders say that Twitter has a week at best if things aren't quickly corrected.
And they won't be. And I was saying that Twitter had a year maybe, but now then I revised it to the end of the year. Now I'm revising it to any day now. And like I said, I was listening to some spaces last night. There was like
Mhm.
20,000 people in a Twitter space.
Wow.
Some of the it not industry or groups of people that I follow on different topics, they're all trying to figure out where to go. Mastodon, Tribal was one. There's a lady that has something called Black Twitter app. I don't like it because she's using Twitter. It looks like Twitter. She's gonna get sued, and it's slow. So I'm there, but I can't get on to do anything because the website is slow. I can't do anything. So that means again, I won't be there. People are moving to Discord. People are saying I'm going to Instagram. People are saying so they're splintering. They're going different places because there's no other site like Twitter. Even though Twitter wasn't great and it had all the hate speech and all of the N-word and all those things going on, there were pockets of people having conversations outside of that. And it was simple, dead simple to use. You just get on, you type, and you hit tweet, and you go about your business, and somebody responds, and you respond to them, and da. There's no site, there's no app, social media platform that does it like that. And the people that use Twitter, which was a small group, news journalists, writers, fan bases for different TV shows and movies, entertainment, they were there because it was easy to have a conversation, and then they could do a Twitter space and blah, blah, blah. So those people are moving to Discord. They're looking at this Mastodon. It's not getting good reviews. We talked about the tribal their terms of service, they're asking for all kind of things, and then like Fran said, it doesn't seem like it's written by a legal person. So where do you go? That is the question of the day. Where do you go? Now, I put up something on my Instagram and I mentioned Google Plus, and I said if Google Plus is still alive right now, they would be cleaning up, because that was the only thing that was kind of close to it as far as easy to use and having conversations and gathering around a community or a topic. But it's still Twitter's dead. So I mean, not Twitter dead. Google Plus is dead. So just like, okay. But that was my just little funny moment of wow, that would have been a place to go, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Seth Godin did some thoughts on Mastodon.
He did? Okay, what does he say?
He said it is by far, and pardon me that I'm looking over here, not at you all. It is by far the fastest growing social network in history, growing more than 20% in about a week, and we know why. Yet it didn't stutter much. It's a network. And he said, how can this be? It's a network in the real internet sense of the word. It's not just a network of users. It is a network of servers as well. No one owns it. Like email, it is a set of principles and rules, not a place. A federation is different than a corporation. It might not be as shiny, but it's far more resilient. It's inconvenient. You can't get started in 10 seconds. This leads to less initial stickiness. It means that the people who get through the learning curve are more likely to be committed and perhaps generous. In the early days of email, of CompuServe, of AOL, of the web, or of just about every network he's been a part of, these early users created a different sort of magic. It never lasts, but it's great to see. He started the first internet companies in 1990. And he said, and the new frontiers to rhyme with each other. This might be one. Part of the power of a network is its distributed nature. That's a plus when it comes to tech and innovation. It's a minus when it comes to the speed of central agreement, as well as the potential for abuse. Email never quite recovered from the open nature of inputs, which meant that spammers, scammers, and hustlers could do what they like, and the defense imperfect filters. The intentional decentralization of the Mastodon Federation seems designed to make those filters more natural and effective at the expense of a super loud amplifier in the middle. You can discover you can discover new voices and ideas, but there isn't a megaphone at work just begging to be hacked by selfish behavior. It's a bit more like life and a bit less like traditional social networks that create controversy to earn profit. And finally, the culture of this federation is still being created. A lot of folks who just arrived will be the author of that culture. And if they figure out how to be generous and kind, that is what gets built. Alas, as is often the case, culture is up to us, particularly when the commercial bias is removed. Um, he said if you're a developer with shops and API apps, what's happening in the Mastodon world, he would love for some future products.
Hmm.
I was like,
Well, see, the thing
And I
about
don't
that, and
know.
I'm glad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
I like that he mentioned that it's not an easy process to onboard. And that is one of the issues. It may be a great place to hang out and it's decentralized, but the cryptocurrency is decentralized. Is that going well now? No. Decentralized is not
Mm-mm.
the nirvana. No, it's because if it's left up to people to self police or to whatever, then you have to find the community where everything is good. Not and if you go there and every group you join is bad and they're hate speech, n-word, this, that, you're going to not use it. One is hard to
Right.
use. It's hard to get on. I've seen that about Mastodon. People are like, well, I'll get on there as soon as I figure out how to do it. I'm like, what? Twitter was easy. You just went email, username, blah blah, and they said, well, what do you like? Who do you want to follow? And then you got on, and then it said, well, what do you want to say? And you just da 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 da, and you're off to the races. So if I got to figure out how to use a social media platform, it's not going to last. And then it's decentralized. That's not a selling point.
Mm.
That's a selling point for tech people, but
Yeah,
everybody
'cause
in the world is not
everybody ain't
tech.
good.
That's why we do the show. Everybody's not tech savvy or want to be or have the inclination to be. That's just my thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see
Wow.
how this plays out because I'm looking at this. I'm like, huh, okay. Need a PhD to get up in here?
And the thing is, the
It's coming.
Mastodon. How do we get to it? I was trying to figure out: is it an app on the App Store? Is it a
It's not.
website?
It
Yeah.
says, well, it has, it says there is joinmastodon.com, .org, joinmastodon.org. Um, and then there are it is not a single website. To use it, you need to make an account with the provider. We call them servers that let you connect with other people across Mastodon. I was like, okay. And it says get the app. It does have an app.
Okay, yeah, I see it in the App Store. It's number 2 right now. So it says
Really?
Mastodon, social networking back in your hands. Join millions of people today.
Is this it?
And then, yeah,
To the,
Yes.
you're in
is that
control.
what,
You decide who you see in your home feed. No surprises. Build an audience. Connect with diverse folks across thousands of servers. Problems. Decentralized. Each server has its own rules and moderators. Again, how do
whoa.
I find how do I find a safe space on Mastodon? You
And
Yeah.
making
that's
me
the thing.
making
That
me do
sounds
work.
like
I'm gonna do.
it sounds like Discord, where you can go into Discord and find the different spaces you want to hang out. But Discord makes it a little easier.
Okay, and then it says no ads, no fees, decentralized and open source. Open source
Hmm.
is not a good thing all the time.
No, it's
You
not.
have to be tech minded for open source.
Right.
Tech
And
minded.
most laws, most of us are not tech minded. I mean, you know what? Even though I use tech, I don't want to have get in there and build the thing, put together the
You're asking
stuff to
users
make it
to
work.
figure out how to sign up, how to find a server. Most people don't know what that is. I gotta find a community. I don't know. When you go to
Right.
Twitter, Twitter was like, "Hi, what are you interested in? This," and you click. Okay, you should follow these people. Suggested followers. Click, click,
Uh-huh.
click. Next screen was you're in. Now with
Correct.
Mastodon, I gotta find a server. It's
Right. And
decentralized, it's self-policing. But what if I don't
Mm-hmm.
like those people? What if I go in a neighborhood where it's hate speech, KKK kind of stuff? How do I get out of it? It's scary.
Mm.
Most
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
people,
because
and
they
I'm saying the
and they
average
have
person,
Mastodon. Okay, I don't see Mastodon US up in here, so not sure. Um, okay, there's a lot of them. It's like Belgium and Japan and whatever, but I haven't seen the US. Right?
I'm gonna
Unless I'm
investigate it, but it's just I'm just saying those things aren't great. Okay, look, so I'm going into the App Store. I go and look at the reviews, and I sort by most recent. Um, ridiculously difficult. This was Wednesday. This app is totally opaque. Sign up was a nightmare. After hours, the 30 requests for verification email all came at once. Ridiculously hard to get around or figure out where you are or find people. This is not the new Twitter.
Okay. There you go.
It's not Twitter.
so all
Not
of a
ready for
sudden
Trump time.
this is
Sadly,
work
too
right up in here.
complicated. Right. So it says sadly too complicated for general people.
Oh.
Trouble joining new server. Confirmation emails never received. I'm locked out. Very functional. Barely functional. I tried. Picking servers hard. Cannot log into the app and can only barely log in from the website. I
Wow.
tried again. I really wanted it to have to work. So instead I'll use Tumblr and Reddit. So I read the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one. Why do I have to choose a server if I already have an account, and what do I do if I can't find my interests?
Mm.
Well, somebody got to be driving this bus too, right?
It is
Like if
decentralized. That means nobody's driving it.
so everybody has a bus. Like they have tech, they got games, they got activism and journalism and stuff like that. But I'm like, well, how do you find a server?
Yeah. How do I find the server? I want to talk about Netflix or the latest whatever. How do I find that?
Okay, so they have one with art and they have general. Okay, what does
Okay.
general mean?
See, I don't have time to figure this out, is what I'm saying. The average person. Open source, decentralized sounds great, but I ask you, what's going on? Cryptocurrency is the same thing right now. What's going on with crypto?
And people are confused by crypto.
Wasn't there a whole big something happened with the Tom Brady and
FTX, yeah.
Yeah, FTX.
The collapse of the exchange, yeah.
Yeah, the collapse. Somebody was scamming and this and that, and
now they're trying to hold the celebrities who
it was Tom Brady.
They're trying to hold them liable.
Yeah, Tom Brady, Larry David, and somebody else. Somebody else big. I forgot who it was.
Shanu has a comment here. She says, I think people are reacting to what's happening to Twitter instead of riding out this tide.
Transition.
Just ride the tide and see where it's going to fall.
We can't ride out the tide because Twitter They, as a business, is failing. They don't have leadership. They've gotten rid of more than half of the employees. The other 20-30% have quit as of yesterday. Who's driving the bus?
Who's really left? Yeah, with the expertise to
Who's
make
driving the
something happen.
bus?
And I tell you what else is going to be interesting is there should be a lot of real estate available in San Francisco.
Because of the employees.
They're out of there. Why would
Yeah.
I pay that kind of money
Right.
to
I'm gonna
live
take my 3-month severance and I'm going to
I'm go-
Texas or
or
someplace cheaper to
North
live.
Dakota, wherever, and
Right.
chill?
Right. Because all they need is a laptop. If they're a coder or a programmer, you don't need to. I don't need to live in San Francisco. I can leave somebody. I can make my money go
Especially
further
if a
somewhere else.
group of us go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of people that a group of people who were starting startups in Nebraska and different places. Heck, he could own the whole town.
So, and the thing is, when I was listening to the Spaces last night, it was, why is Elon Musk doing this? Everybody trying to figure out what's in his head and why is he doing it, and why would he want to lose all this money? Look at his investors. Who are they?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
And are they going to move this overseas? Are they going to move Twitter
They're not
overseas?
going to move it overseas. It's to dismantle it. Those are two countries that they suppress free speech.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter is what? Free speech. What better way to get rid of it than from the inside, by buying it and having this guy who I'm not getting into nationalism, but he wasn't born here. He's from South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the question. People trying to figure out what is he doing and why. I said, look at this. Look at the money. Always follow the money. What's going on with the money?
Yep.
He's being investigated for that very thing.
And
the investors that he has.
People do buy out the competition. A lot of times they buy it out and close it down.
And I heard last night it's too big to fail. Did you talk to Enron? Lehman Brothers? All of these other places, too big to fail. That's not it. It can fail. Mm-hmm. Because of all of the things that we just listed. And you have to look at, why is this a supposed businessman with trillion dollar valuation? Why would he do this? I'm just saying, it's interesting. So yes, Twitter is going, because there's not a person there that cares about keeping it together. The employees have gone. Who's he gonna hire? Is he hiring? No, he's not hiring. He's getting rid of people. Twitter is a mess. It takes a lot of money to run this site every hour, every day. He doesn't have the cash flow. He's not going to put his money into it. He already put his money into it. He's not going to put any more into it. It's a bus, a car with gas, and it's going full speed, and nobody's driving and renting. What happens when it runs out of gas?
This is so sad.
It stops. Yes, it is sad. You don't have money coming in, expenses out the roof. He's cut half of the workforce. Made an ultimatum yesterday that he knew people were going to quit. He knew people were going to quit yesterday. He knew that. That's why he made the ultimatum.
And you had to make the decision quickly if you wanted the 3-month severance.
These are not the actions of a businessman, a smart businessman who wants to keep a business going. This is not how you behave. So yes, Twitter is going faster than I thought, but it's going. We're just in the car till it runs out of gas. When will that be? Maybe Monday. I don't know.
Wow, it'll be very interesting.
It is interesting, and we're watching the destruction of a social media platform in real time. We're in the car while it's driving on fire and no gas, and we're like, what do we do? But I mean, this is, where do we go? Where do you want to go? And not personally, as a business owner, where do you want to go?
Mommy,
As a business owner, where do you want to go? What do we always talk about? Owning your own. That's the
Mhm.
hard road. And a lot of people don't want to do that because it takes work. I've got to start over. I'm in this mansion, but I got to move and I got to build a new house on a plot of land over there that doesn't have a house. So that means I got to start off from scratch. Who wants to do that? It's not
Not
attractive,
us,
but
it's
it
cat.
is sustainable in the long run. It's like when you own a business and you're leasing not property, you're leasing the building and you're paying rent to somebody else, but if the landlord decides to increase your rent, that could crush your business. So what do you try to do? You try to buy the building so that control is not over you. It's the same thing. Lots of things to think
Mhm.
about. So I like Twitter. It is going because there's nobody. The guy that was driving and jumped out. He jumped out and put a brick on the gas pedal. And it's full of gas, but it's going to run out of gas because there's nobody driving to stop at the gas station to get more gas.
Mm.
Woo! And this only matters to a small amount of people. Most of the people that use Facebook, we're good. People that use Instagram, we're good. People that use TikTok, we good for now. But till the FBI made their little declaration this week, so we'll see what next week happens with TikTok. But
Yeah, yeah.
I
don't
okay, y'all
say
know I'm still.
don't say it's too big to
You know
fail.
I'm
When I heard that, I was like, no, no. Because all of
okay.
this
So
is
I
it's
know
not
I'm
necessary to life. This is entertainment. This is okay. It's taking, you have something to do, but this is not life. We will exist outside of Twitter. It's just that you've gotten used to being in the house. So you're like, okay, it's not gonna be comfortable to move to another house. When we've decorated this one so lovely and it's comfortable.
Well, Mark has a comment.
go ahead.
He says, I just continue to do what I always do, speak aloud around the house, pretending that my deaf dog can hear. Sometimes I'm yelling into a void anyway. That doesn't mean that I will stop yelling. Okay, okay, Mark.
And see, a
So here
lot of
we
this has to do with, and I heard this. Where do we promote our stuff now? And I'm
are.
like, well, you should be trying to cultivate a community where everybody's talking to each other, and maybe it's not a million people. That was another thing that I'm like, okay, I have 100,000 followers on Twitter. I can't move them to Mastodon or whatever, and I have to start over.
Mm.
I heard a lot of that. I have to start over, and that's not something they want to do. But
So
things to think
I
about. A
got a
lot of
question.
things. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm still tooling around Mastodon what y'all talking, right? So I'm
Okay.
understanding a little bit. When you first go in, there are topics at the top. There is all general, regional, art, music, journalism, activism, LGBT, games, tech, academia, furry, and food, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
clicked on tech because I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested in tech.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
interesting to me, not one on business, but okay. Um, and then there are one, two, three, four servers that deal with tech. One of them is, two of them are from English, I guess. EN, is that English?
Probably.
EN.
Yeah.
And then there's one from DE, which is German, and two
Mm-hmm.
Germany. Okay, so the IOC.exchange, they don't have enough information to tell me what they're about, so I'm leaving them alone. But they got 16,000.3 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is hackaderm.io. Here we are trying to build a curated network of respectful professionals in the tech industry around the globe. Welcome anyone who follows the rules and needs a safe home or a fresh start. We are hackers, professionals, enthusiasts, and are passionate about life, respect, and digital freedom. We believe in peace and balance, safe space, tech industry, economics. I don't know what OSINT means. News, Rust, Linux, a whatever, and all of that. Infrastructure security. That sound like real techie people, not the people.
They're hackers. They they came straight up and told
They
you.
started out the first word. I was like, woo, I don't know if I want to be on
They,
that one.
Okay,
But
so
there isn't,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
how do you create a server on there? You see what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, can I
mm-hmm.
create my own server? But anyway,
Yes,
mhm.
right. You can, right,
because they
I don't
did.
know. This can't. They
right.
did. They,
And you
so we should
and
see a
what I
bunch of
see
new
when I went
servers.
to the when I went there, it's like apply. You have to apply or
Mhm.
ask to be a member or something.
I don't know. I just went in here and I just started filling out my name and stuff. And then I was going to put in something, but I was like, let me check out something first. I'll let y'all know what else we got because this is fun.
Okay. And see, so I'm gonna so the Mastodon. Now, remember we talked about an app called Peanut a while back.
Yes, I
Yes.
You
remember
remember?
Peanut.
For
Yes.
women.
Connect with women like you. And I'm reading from the App
I
Store.
like
Share
that.
your experiences. Join live
Hmm.
conversations. Meet women nearby. Explore communities and groups. A safe space for women to connect. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to, if I'm a woman, I'm going to join Peanut and see what's going on over there because it's a safe space. They're talking about the things I want to talk about. There's no tech fanboys or tech things or things that I don't want to talk about.
Hmm.
So this is what I was saying that these are the conversation is going to go into areas like this. And this was Google Plus was about. They couldn't stick around where there was a community for women that or there was a community for writers, or there was a community for artists, and then you could post things publicly or privately, and so it was great. But people didn't understand it because it was ahead of the time, and now it's not available, and now it's I was like, that's the place that people from Twitter would want to go, but Twitter wasn't
Hmm.
around, so they were like, I don't want any parts of Google Plus. And Google shut it
Yeah,
down.
and this, yeah, Mastodon reminds me of Google Plus. It really
But
does,
Google Plus is it
but
was
it Google Plus
easier.
was not
Hmm.
easy. Right, Google
Hmm.
Plus was a lot easier
And
than
it
this
wasn't
because I'm
server
like, okay,
based and it wasn't decentralized. Google, it was all based on your Google email that you used and you logged in.
Hmm.
So now, so we have Peanut, we have fan base. I'm gonna research some more, but that's what's happening. You're gonna go places where you feel comfortable. A safe space for women to connect. That's all they got to tell me. Reach out and chat. Stay connected with video chat. So it's got video, audio, live conversations. I can post video. I can post things. And I downloaded it. I wasn't using it. So
and it's
this is
Peanut
what's
like
gonna happen.
PEANUT.
Yeah, peanut, like peanut. And it's in the app store.
I remember us talking
Yeah,
about this.
Yeah, we talked about it,
right.
remember? And I said, oh, they got this community. And I was like, that's
Well,
interesting.
Peanut, it says find friends and it says fertility, motherhood, menopause is not okay.
So women at all ages and stages. So motherhood, fertility, pregnancy, menopause. The app provides access to community who are there to listen, share information, and offer valuable advice
Hmm.
with safety first.
Mm-hmm.
All profiles in Peanut are verified with selfie verification. We have a zero tolerance policy toward abusive behavior of any kind. Uh, sensitive content filters mask any content filters mask any content that may be triggering. Topics put you in control of the content you want to see. Guardian badges are awarded to those who hold users accountable. They've got over 3 million women on this app. I'm just saying that this is what's happening. People, uh, the conversation is going to splinter to where I feel comfortable, because being on
Mhm.
Twitter was like, okay, there was an opportunity for somebody to hate speech you or say something or bully, and we didn't like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So people started
So
making
see what
apps where, mhm,
this is like community pages and apps where you can just come to one place, like the groups on Facebook. Instead of you going to Facebook to get into a
Mhm.
group, you're going to go
mhm,
to the group directly, or you know
right.
what I mean, instead of you're going to all of that.
Yeah.
So this is what's happening. And it's a conversation that's going to continue, because social we were doing well. Remember there was a time where we didn't use social media. Now years later, it's ingrained in us, and like, okay, to where Twitter's going down and people are freaking out, like, where do I go?
Mhm.
I have this community and I talk to you every day, and we do a Twitter space, and I feel good talking to you about this topic, and now where do we go? Some people don't. I said Discord. Some people don't like the interface of Discord.
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
Mastodon, some people don't want to use that. Tribal, they don't want to use that. So splintering conversations, the group is splintering, and
Mhm.
the winner is going to be apps like Peanut,
Wow.
because
There
it's
you
a
go.
community that you're joining, because they're talking about the things that you want to talk about.
Yes.
Now, how do we do that as business owners? You can make your own community. You can use a Facebook group. You can use Mighty Networks. You can use Heartbeat. You can make one on your own website using some tools. If you have WordPress, there's
Mhm.
some tools where you can make your own community, and it looks like Facebook, or it looks like Twitter, or it looks like this and that, where there's a conversation going on, and you control it because you're paying.
Mhm.
You're paying to set it up, and then when you invite people, come over to my community, because just like Peanut listed all those are things that group they're concerned about. I want to
Mhm.
talk to people on social media, but I don't want all of that stuff that goes on. The politics, the hate speech, the this, the that. I want to curate my feed. I want a place that's pleasant.
Mhm.
And this is why the communities, just like you said, Heartbeat and Luma and other places are becoming um, popular, is because you can go and just be in that community and get all the stuff you want without being bombarded with a bunch of other stuff. There's
Right,
no
right. That's what's happening. And this Peanut, they're like, you have to take a picture of yourself. They're not
Mhm.
gonna let you in without that. And there was something, was it last week or the week before? There was something about Instagram was going to try to use some kind of system like that to verify that you're 13 or something. We talked about
Oh.
that a while back. I think that was maybe a month or two ago. But this is what's going to happen. The anonymity of, I can get on Twitter and be who I want, and you saw that blow up with the the blue check.
Yes.
People did, oh, I can get a blue check for $8. I'm gonna go on and go and say I'm President Jimmy Carter. I'm this and that, and nobody was stopping them.
They even had someone had a blue check for Jesus Christ. It was just not cute. It was
So
getting out of
that that tells you everything you need to know. It can't sustain with the chaotic mess that was going on, and the principal of the school, Elon Musk, was like, do whatever you want.
and that was before the students got out of class. Now they like, what?
They're like, oh, I'm gonna send you to the principal. So he's not gonna do anything.
He got a line so long he'll never get to me.
Mark has some comments. He said, Francie's Wi-Fi is weakened, or she has a carry lake filter on the lens. Then he says, I am creating me not for men. that don't know how and don't really have any interest in connecting. You could do that.
Right.
I mean, I know he's joking, but you could.
Right.
Men something, an app called Men Something, where it's all conversations about men and the things they want to talk about.
And see, this is what didn't we have that when we were Blab was like that.
Yes.
Blab
Dr.
was
Vibe,
like that,
Dr.
and so
Vibe
was
is like
Fire
that.
Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Talk was like that too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Wow.
So this
Yeah.
is an interesting conversation to see what's happening, and in my mind, as soon as that Friday when they said Elon Musk bought Twitter, I said this is Mr. Toad's wild ride, and it is
Oh my goodness. Bless him.
Mr. Toad's wild ride. You don't know, it's coming everywhere. So the conversation is like, why is he doing this? Because he's a smart person, and I'm like, ah, I have things to say about him, but everything falls, everything shakes out of the tree, everything falls out that's supposed to fall out and is falling out,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The truth eventually will come out. So this is what's happening,
And
and
TJ, you've been telling us this for years. Have your own stuff.
this is why. This is why,
BizChicks, we
because
have a community page, and you need and this we're going micro communities now, micro groups, not where you try and get everybody to be a part of your group. Now you're really gonna have to talk to the people who want to talk to you.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
targeted audience, targeted message, drive them to something you own. That's where we are now. And Twitter was great for that, and now it's not available anymore. So now, guess what? Get on Facebook and get on Instagram and start getting the message out and saying, "Hey, if this thing goes down, if this plane goes down, if this bus is driving and nobody going and nobody's driving it, we're over here." The easiest way to do that, if you don't know where you want to drive them, email is your connection. If you get their email address, when you figure out where you want to go, you can say, "Hey, remember me? We were on this, and now we're going over to blah blah blah."
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like that community, because I've seen this, there's somebody I follow that they had a Discord. He was an Instagram influencer or something, and he had a Discord. So now he shut his Discord down, and he said, "Now I'm on Telegram." And how did he make us move? He went to Discord and changed everything to, "You want to stay in the know? Click this link. We're on Telegram."
Right. And these and with Peanut over here, because like I said, I'm playing in the sand. They told me people that are in my area that are a part
Mm-hmm.
of this.
Mm-hmm.
And because I checked different things that I was interested in, whether photography and different things, and they
Mm-hmm.
formulated that community for me. It's going to be
Yeah.
interesting. And so people,
Customized.
okay, the waters have shifted, the cheese has moved, the cheese factories moved, everything has
That
moved.
move.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
and
time.
this is what happens. So in marketing and business, in tech, that's why we here on Friday, and you get to hear us. I bring you what's happened this week, and we get to talk about it and decide what we're going to do.
And we're going to
So,
try and help you find alternatives. So this
mhm.
weekend, I'm going to be playing with some of these alternatives to see which ones. Okay, Mastodon seems a little clunky. Like, woo, you running into walls and stuff. Peanut was a little easier getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Peanut was easier. It's
It
a
looks
niche.
familiar.
Yeah, it's niche. It's women of all ages. They can niche down even further, probably within it. Where, okay, if you're want to talk about pregnancy issues, you're over here. You want to talk about fertility issues, you're over there. Whatever's going on in
And
woman
they
land,
do
like
that
I say.
when you go in, they tell you at what stage of life are you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This, and then you get to pick one.
And see, think about mothers with young children. It's hard for them to connect with people outside of daycare or whatever. They might want to connect with other women who have young children, and this is one of the ways.
Right.
There you go.
Same thing with an older group. You might want to connect with women who have this particular issue or problem because they're talking about it. You want to talk about it. So
we're gonna bring you some more alternatives.
there's
We're gonna
always
go
going to be
stand.
alternatives. These apps and platforms are going to come and go.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come and go.
So, TJ, just make sure you have some place where the people who are following you can follow you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you might need to set up a Discord. At least somebody will know where you are. Looks like
and you don't have to use Discord. That's right, and you don't have to use Discord. That's just one of them. I mean, there's
right.
MeWe. Remember, MeWe is still around. There was something else I was looking at.
So
but
let's bring back a list.
Yeah, well, okay, so we'll make a list. But in the meantime, do your email list. Work on that. Work on your email list.
People. Send them an email. Send them a text if you have it.
If you're on Twitter, say, hey, I don't know where I'm going, but if you get on my email list, you'll know. And if people want to follow you, they will get on your email list. And if you want to give them an offer, you can. But this might be the bridge. The email is the bridge.
I think we have to start talking to our audience now. Instead of trying to talk to all of them out there, we instead of talking to everybody.
And remember that this is just Twitter. A lot of people weren't ever using it. It's just getting a lot of conversation now. That's all. A lot of people aren't using Twitter.
It's causing us to think, okay, where are my people really?
Yeah. Interesting.
All right.
We're on the bus.
Thank you all for tuning in live on the replay, on Clubhouse, wherever you're catching us.
Instagram is still going. Instagram is still going strong. Facebook is still going strong. If you're over there and you never looked at Twitter, then you're okay. It's just for the Twitter folks. Trying to figure out where to go.
Yep. All right. I like Shanu's idea of having a burner phone for TikTok.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's an excellent idea.
If you have an old phone, use that one for TikTok, and then the other ones, so they stay out of your stuff.
Do that.
All right. Thank you, Mark and Shanu and everybody. We will be back on Monday, and then become a part of the BizChicks community if you are not already. We have a safe space talking about business and tech and media all the time. BizChicks.net will take you right to us. You can also text us at text biz to 33777. That'll take you right to us. So thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We want to remind you that it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Thank you again, TJ. Thank you, Fran, for all that you do. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.